Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to CTN's Game of the Week. I'm Nick Wisniewski, soon to be joined by Kevin, the Mayor Bryant. We're here at Holloway Field, where the Pioneers are taking on the visiting Saline Hornets. The Hornets this year are doing Hornet things. They are 5-0. They're putting up a lot of points and only giving up just over 10 points per game. There's a lot of things to like about them, and they are on a fast track for meeting against the Dexter Dreadnoughts. However, that game goes through Holloway Field, and the Pioneers, where we are currently at, Pioneers have a lot of things going for them currently, but things are moving in the direction that they're looking for. They've got a lot of athletes, and they're looking to play spoiler tonight, so stick around for kickoff. It's coming right up.
And who's ready for some Friday Night Lights? Hello again, I'm Kevin Bryant. And now on the final day of September, we finally made it to homecoming weekend. Tonight's weather should not be an issue. It's a picture-perfect fall evening. Temps in the, I'd say probably mid to upper 50s, light breeze. And our kickoff is just moments away from Holloway Field. Now the opponent, on the other hand, they're quite stormy. Let's set the table. Your 1-4 Pioneers have held it together for a very respectable first season under Calvin Griggs, with junior quarterback Kalen Wong and his favorite target, super sophomore Malik Farha, have kept things exciting for this young team. But along the road, they've also racked up some big learning lessons from their Elton welcome guest. Tonight's foe should not be any different, as the Saline Hornets are one of the few teams, though, that the Pioneers have a historical losing record against, posting an ugly 9-18 record. And since Saline's Joe Polka's been at the helm, the Hornets are 11-2 over Pie High. Once again, this year's version of the Hornets are loaded, led by 5-star stud QB C.J. Carr, who's already committed to Notre Dame. He's coming off a 49-6 spanking over Skyline during their homecoming last week. As you see the Pioneers rush out onto the field, it's homecoming for them this week, and the Hornets will look to extend their ownership, Nick, over the SEC Red, where they haven't dropped a game since 2013. My friend, it should be some deductive learning for Coach Griggs and his squad this evening. How you feeling?
Really good, really good. Not as good as you after putting that whole thing together. That is amazing. Well put, well stated. Great use of deductive reasoning, and everything that you said is spot on. And you pulled out some really incredible things. Just the fact that Saline has been so very dominant in this division for so long. It's really incredible. But it just speaks to the program that Coach Pelk has put together since he's gotten there.
he's really done a good job of one season of losing. Since then, he lost his first 2 games against these Pioneers. He's been on an 11-0 run since then. And you're right about the program. You and I were discussing the size of the rosters before the game started. This Saline squad has 78 players strong on their roster. I mean, they have 9 freshmen. I mean, you don't see that on a lot of school squads, man.
No, and you've got to think the way that they're putting up numbers against so many other teams, these freshmen are probably getting out there and getting some minutes in the third and fourth quarter, which now is kind of like whatever, but in the coming years, that's going to be incredible for them.
It's huge. That's how this Saline program has been over the last 10 years since Polka's been at the helm. This is his 11th season as the head coach, and he's actually transformed this program into just a beast as far as the SEC Red is concerned. They just don't hold it up on opponents as far as an offensive onslaught they bring, and their defense is no slouch either.
No, they've got great players on both sides of the ball. They're getting it done both sides of the ball, and we're going to see that tonight. You know, you look, last week we saw Dexter come over here, and they just had some big kids. Like, they were just bigger, stronger. You could see that, and we're going to see a little bit of that with Saline, but I think just as a whole, they've got a really good team, just all-around effort. They've got good scheming, good game plan, as well as the good athletes.
And a good kicker. That's the opening kickoff by Riley Bierman. He'll put that as a touchback, and the Pioneers will begin their opening drive this evening from their 20-yard line.
And I like that a lot for the Pioneers. This is homecoming. You receive that opening kickoff. Hopefully you've got some energy in the crowd. You come out of that locker room ready to go, fired up, and hopefully also Coach Griggs has some of those, not necessarily trick plays, but some of those fun plays ready to go and ready to see it. Although, as we all well know, I would put almost my entire mortgage on a run up the gut on this first play.
Bonasso up the middle. That's usually how Pioneers have begun. They come out with Wong, the quarterback, leading the purple gang. A little bit of movement up front. It might be a penalty on the Hornets or even a false start on the Pioneers. Let's take a look. Officials going to both sides to make sure he gets this opening call correct. Don't want to see too much of these guys tonight, though, Nick.
No, and that was false start. That will be on the Pioneers. Not what they wanted after we were just talking about coming out fired up, past possibly a little too fired up. But you know, the Pioneers, they're working on things. They've got a lot of young players, a lot of inexperienced players. Where it is most glaring is this offensive line of theirs.
And those self-inflicted wounds. We're going to see another one right there. You know, last week when we were watching Pioneer going up against the Dreadnoughts of Dexter, it was their special teams giving up kickoff returns, punt returns. Each week, Coach Griggs has a teachable moment.
And we can see that jump right on the outside there.
Yeah, it looks like Ocean Brabs was getting a head start on the offensive side. This time Wong will take a look, and he'll find Brabs on a quick little pitch and catch. Be a nice little pickup of about 4 yards, probably about that penalty yardage back, and it'll bring up about a 2nd and 16.
Yeah, I mean, that's you know, just a few yards there, but at least that's a different wrinkle than that run up the gut on first down. You get a nice little slant to Brabs. You're still going no huddle. It's not a super fast no huddle. They're not putting together a 2-minute drill, but they're still forcing Saline to keep their defenders out there. And Pioneer's going to try to dictate what they're doing on this opening drive.
Hornets lining up in about a 4-3 defense, 3 linebackers out there. Wong now. Bonasso on the handoff. He'll get stopped for a loss. Tackled down around the 10-yard line. That'll be about a 5-yard loss on the play.
Yeah, not what you're looking for after that first positive play. Now you're looking at 3rd and very long. Got to think you're throwing it. Although we've seen quite a bit from Wong. They might roll him out, maybe do some sort of run-pass option. We'll see what they can dial up here on 3rd and long.
Just didn't start off the drive the right way for Coach Griggs with those penalties. Now Wong on 3rd down. He'll go near side. Brabs will take it out near the 20-yard line, but that'll bring up a 4th and long.
But here we'll see these baby steps. Wong going towards him. Goes towards that Pioneer sideline.
Brabs gets it nicely, makes the first guy miss, and gets a couple of extra yards.
Good call on your description of the play before it happened. He did, Coach Griggs, roll Wong out of the pocket. The Hornets, if they have any type of pass rush like the Dreadnoughts, I mean, Piracek was in the backfield all night. That's a smart move. Now on the punt for the Pioneers, good kick, though. That'll flip the field. Ball will go out of bounds right at midfield where the Hornets will come out 1st and 10 on their first drive.
Yeah, solid, pretty standard-looking punt, right? Like that got some air under it, gave your guys an opportunity to get out there and make it downfield and get that one touched up.
Yeah, and the Pioneers seem to have some good English on all of their punts. They all seem to bounce the correct way for them. Now Carr start off the night. Night-timer is in the backfield. He'll take it'll be a fake to him. Be a drop-off pass to number 18. He'll go all the way for the touchdown, and that'll be Joel McLosvik. He's actually listed as a defensive back. So that'll be a 50-yard touchdown pass to begin the night for the Hornets.
Yeah, and we saw it right from the jump. It was a really nice play-action pass. I think the Pioneers were coming in. I don't know if they had a blitz or just an extra linebacker in on that, but they were completely fooled. They went to eat up that running back. He makes that nice catch over his shoulder, turns, and nothing any of those Pioneers can do about that.
Bonenberger was in chase for the Pioneers and just not enough room and enough good angle for him to cut down. The Hornets will make their extra point, and they'll go up early, 7-0.
Here we see a different angle of that really nice play, and Carr does a great job of staying in the pocket, making that throw, finding his man, and just nothing the Pioneers can do. Turns on the Jets and gets in there. First play of the game for Saline. Sadly, this has been something that the Pioneers have been getting used to, like getting down early after 1-2 plays, a kickoff maybe every once in a while. And that's got to be disheartening as a young player. But I've got to say it's really a testament to Coach Griggs that he's got his guys always going out there strong, always playing hard, keeping their heads up. You don't see a lot of slouching. You never see any frustration on that sideline. So that's really impressive, and that's a start. You got to get through this first season. You got to get through the bumps and bruises of these early problems.
And Javante Holmes is not playing again tonight. He was one of the running backs that in their second game against Huron showed some very good promise. So they're not dealing with a full deck in that backfield. Farha and Craig back deep for the Pioneers.
And you wonder if because they are a little short in the backfield, that maybe that's why they were going to those early passes, those just quick slants, trying to get some yards up that way rather than running up the gut or trying to any sort of pitch play out of the backfield.
And we did see a lot of those small, short passes out of the Pioneers recently. I'm looking to see if they can build off of that, Nick, if they can do some type of maybe hitch and go, a wheel route, something that is going to have that defender step up and use Wong, who has a very good arm, to let it loose.
Yeah, that's very possible. You mentioned it, and Wong does a really nice job of setting his feet and throwing, but he can throw on the run as well, so it's not improbable for one of his guys to get open and him to heave it.
That play does not look good from the beginning. It looked like Wong was looking for Farha to come in to do a play-action read, a little read option here, and there's no read there.
Nope, nobody read that, and Wong just had to eat it basically and go into those interior linemen, which not a pleasant place to be anytime, but especially against the Saline Hornets. Wong checking that wristband, him and Benesso both back there.
Andrew Harley, that is a big guy right over the nose tackle for the Hornets. Simpson, the center. Definitely have to do a good job putting hands on him. There's Farha on the pass, the slant. He'll catch it. He'll take it for a gain of about 6 yards. Bring up a 3rd and 4.
Great reception there by Farha. And one of the things that we've seen from him is his ability to make defenders miss once he makes those catches. And I'm sure that Saline has scouted him and this offense at least a little bit. They know that that's what he's good at, so they're probably going to be keeping a close eye on him in a zone type of scheme rather than just straight up man.
Now at that time it looked like the Hornets will be penalized for offsides, and it looked like, Nick, they were bringing some heat on that third down play. And that'll be the first down for the Pioneers. The student section getting hyped for that.
Yeah, the Purple Gang excited for this one. They like to see that first down. They want to get excited. They want to get hyped on a homecoming. They want to be ready to go on Friday, but a great job of drawing, everybody off. There were 3 guys that were in on that. They were anxious to get after Wong on that play.
Great job by the QB. Now the Pioneers come out with trips to the left of Wong as he takes a peek over to the sideline to set the play. Ball's at the 30-yard line. He'll hand it off to Sam Bonasso. A nice little 4-yard gain on the play, Nick, right up the middle.
Yeah, get a nice chunk, and now you've got second, third down, very manageable. And it opens up the playbook. You can hand the ball off again. You can try another one of those slant passes and maybe see if Farhad can get out there. And there we can see
Harley.
Andrew Harley once again. You were just talking about him. That is indeed a big kid.
If
He does
you want
not
to
miss a lot
build
of lunges.
a nose tackle, that's the MO right there. I'm going to follow that. I'm sure he doesn't miss too many meal tables. There's a quick pitch out to Bonasso. Not a lot of room on the edge. He'll still gain a little on the play. He'll bring up a third and probably about 6.
You see Harley trotting off the field after that one.
And the Pioneers, again, without that no huddle, they're putting tempo on the defense, and that's another thing that Coach Griggs is building off of.
Well, you're talking about tempo. Here comes that possibly that blitz from the Hornets again. That one that got called 2 plays ago. They're ready to rock on this one.
If they do, I'd find Farha one-on-one if he's going to be singled up. Good snap. Ball goes in, and I think somebody was thinking the same thing as me, and that'll be the same young man that took the touchdown in, Joel Milosevic. And he just stepped right in between Farha, timed it well, and quarterback Wong just didn't see that defender in the vicinity.
And we knew it was coming. We knew he was going to be looking for Farha, and I'm going to say that Saline knew much the same. I mean, if they've done any scouting, they know that that's Wong's favorite target. They know that he gets a lot of looks, he gets a lot of targets, he gets a lot of catches. So in that scary situation, it's just real easy for the linebacker or the defensive back to step up and get in there.
And put on some speed as well, too. Bierman will make that extra point, and that'll put the Hornets ahead, 14-0. 6:42 remaining in the opening quarter.
Here we see that shot. A little bit of a high snap, but Wong still just dialed into his man. Great job of him stepping up, though, and similar to his touchdown on the other side of the ball, once he got going, there was nobody in front of him. He just had eyes wide open for that end zone.
And it kind of looked like Wong, where he hitched his delivery, immediately saw that Farha was open possibly, but in that replay, it looked like number 6, Evan Burkhart, was a little disappointed the ball didn't come his way. So again, this whole season has been about learning and progression. That's something that maybe Wong will pick up in film session.
Yeah, right you are. With a young, inexperienced quarterback, he's going to make these mistakes, especially when you're playing squads that are as good as they are, as good as Saline is. These guys aren't 5-0 this season for nothing. They're not rattling off all those stats that you were saying earlier for nothing. It's a good, strong team. They know how to prepare, and going against the best is going to make you that much of a sharper player.
In the last 2 weeks, the schedule really hasn't been kind to Pioneer, going up against probably the 2 toughest teams in the SEC Red. This kick will be returned by Craig. He'll take it in about the 10-yard line. Try to make it to the outside. Does have a little bit of room. Close to a face mask there on the tackle. as he'll go out of bounds about the 17.
Yeah, really nice return there. He almost got around that last defender. If he makes it past him, he's going to have at least another 5-10 yards out of that one.
Tyler Craig is one of the ballers for Pioneer. He's definitely been on both sides of the ball. An electric player, if you're running or coming up and laying some wood on some folks. He's got a good future. Had to check my roster, Nick. He is only a junior.
Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, not a ton of seniors on this Pioneer team.
And that's also for Coach Joe Polka. He was mentioning that at the beginning of the year that this is one of his youngest teams. I mean, when you got a 5-star quarterback that's only a junior, I mean, that's some riches.
Yeah, you're not complaining about that one for sure.
Now you see Jackson Conley, one of the linebackers, pressuring up the middle. Definitely will come on a blitz. Quick toss out to Grabs. Not much room, though. We'll pick up maybe 2 on the play.
But still, this new little wrinkle of, hey, let's not just run the ball. Let's try these little screen passes. There you see Craig there. Just couldn't get around that last guy. I think that was Isaiah Harris, if I'm not mistaken, number 91, who ends up bringing him down with a really good tackle. Although that left hand probably got a little face mask there.
It's got to be face mask. Come on, Pioneers need that call.
Too.
Come on, ref. We're just looking at, man. Now Wong again. Hey, Harris is only a freshman for the Hornets. That's scary. And that's how they do it. Put them on special teams before they make it out on the defensive unit. Now Wong will turn to his left. And is that Evan Burkhart? It is Burkhart on the reception. Did not gain an inch, so it'll be 3rd and 8.
Pass complete to Evan Burkhart.
Yeah, I don't know if the Hornets have already got this short passing situation figured out already, or it is just another matter of good, strong athletes just stepping up and making these plays.
Well, again, we saw the tape last week, and I bet the Hornets did too. Pioneer fell in love with these short passes, almost like bubble screens. Now empty backfield with Wong looking over the defense. Pressure coming. That ball will be overthrown for Ocean Brabs and everybody in the vicinity. Probably a good thing.
Well, and that wasn't even a blitz by Saline. They just, their interior linemen, everybody just pushed through and got after him. And unfortunately for Wong, that's kind of been the story of his season, of his 2022.
Yeah, it's almost jailbreak every time that Wong's back there. I mean, it's good and bad. He's learning a lot, but he's definitely coming away with some bruises.
Yeah, we've seen more than one high or low snap coming Wong's way throughout the course of this season. So thus far, that hasn't been an issue. So maybe the baby step here is getting the ball to your quarterback cleanly for an entire game.
And that'll be a bad punt by Kalen Wong, but unfortunately, they didn't want to kick it to the returner, who's gotten 2 touchdowns already. Hornets, though, will have excellent field position, starting their second offensive possession, probably right around the 28. Now Carr will come back. Similar formation that the Pioneers have.
Yeah, lots of wideouts, and then you keep that running back there to block for you.
Messman on the reception there. That'll be a first down for the Hornets.
And that almost looked too easy for Messman. He took a couple steps forward, turned, grabbed it with both hands.
Messman's a big kid, though. He's
so
6'5".
much taller. I was just about to say,
he's a
look
big
how
guy.
much taller he is than the rest of those kids.
And right back to Messman. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Lario. And Lario will get into the end zone off of that pass. And you're right, Carr has been, well, he's perfect on the evening so far, but he's throwing those balls right on the number. A little push off there. And working his way into the end zone.
Well, that's a great job by Lario to assess where he's at, right? I mean, you saw him make that catch. He kind of shirked that first defender, and then he went low to get underneath the next one. Just really nice awareness of where he's at and who's around him to find that end zone.
Here's another shot from the field angle. Love this angle. And watch the strength at the end, Nick. And that's a touchdown all the way. All you got to do is break the play.
Right, you are lost in all that once again. I mean, you mentioned Card before, but he's throwing a really good ball.
Tight. Well, they say he spins it well.
They do say that. I've heard that. But yeah, Carr looks good. He's very poised in that pocket, throws a good ball, making the correct decisions, making the correct reads, just everything you want leading your team.
The down judge, Jeremy Rasputin.
Not a lot of energy right now over on the Saline sideline. I mean, they actually look like we've been here before, right?
Well, and I think that's it, right? Like that might be part of it. You know, you don't want to get too excited when you know what you think the outcome's going to be.
Not their first rodeo.
Right.
On rodeo night.
Right. It might be rodeo night down there. I don't know if you've seen the Saline faithful. But,
yeah, even the cheerleaders are down there sporting the white brims.
They're just ready to go. Some cowpokes.
What would Yosemite Sam call those hats?
A hat.
A hat?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Now that's what we're talking about. A fake reverse. Craig will keep it. On the return, he'll get out to about the 16-yard line. Just what you're asking for, Nick. Now, let's not keep it conventional here.
Right, you know, Pioneers already down 21-0. Let them go out there, have some fun, execute some interesting plays, keep them interested. You know, you talk about Saline might be a little lackadaisical on the sidelines. That's not what you want on the other side when you're down, right? Keep your kids invested, keep them having a good time, keep trying different things, and that's how you keep your program rolling along.
Now Wong on the third possession for the Pioneers. 4:40 on the clock here in the first quarter. He'll take the snap, hand it off to Sam Bonasso. Bonasso with a strong run over the left side. That looks like about a 4-yard gain.
And a little bit of misdirection. You saw after Wong handed that ball off, he went right hard, just in the hopes of pulling away at least one person, or at least getting them a little distracted. And I feel like he did pull a couple of the linebackers with him, at least initially, which who knows, maybe that could have bought Vanessa with that extra second and a half to get a couple of more yards.
Yeah, or if not, if the coaches in the booth didn't see anybody follow Wong, hey, how about that fake and go? A lot of jumping going along the line for the Hornets, but I guess they're not inside the offensive zone because they did not call an offsides there.
Well, I'm curious if Saline decided to maybe start back another few inches just because this has been such an issue and their guys have been so jumpy. Just like, hey, take another hand or knee back than usual. And that way, that will give you that little bit of an extra oomph just in case.
Wong incomplete on that pass, really close to being a lateral. But, you know, when he looked over to the right side for Brabs was shadowed on the play by Ryan Stein. And, I mean, really wasn't that much open on the play, Nick.
No, he's trying to throw something in as best he can. You're right. The DB was all over him, and Brabs just didn't have quite enough separation to get out there on that. But even if he catches that on that slant out, like, you know, that flat out, you know, nothing's going to happen probably.
Another 3rd and long. First bad snap of the game, and it looks like it's going to be, well, it was setting up to be a bubble screen to Farha. That ball was deflected, and it will bring up a 4th and 8 for the Pioneers.
Yeah, we talked about trying to be as efficient as possible with those snaps, but that was the first, you know, not the best, most accurate snap that we've seen so far. And even with a good one, I don't think that Wong is going to find anybody on that because those defensive linemen for the Hornets were in a hurry.
Miklosvic, 2 touchdowns on the night so far. One off the opening punt is back deep, and not really deep. He's only 20 yards off of the line. Wong back to punt. That ball is a low line driver with a great bounce, and it'll go out of bounds nearly the 35-yard line, 34 of the Hornets.
And that's the Hornets doing their scouting again. They know that Wong isn't really known for big, booming punts. But what we have seen from him, and I believe Brabs also earlier in the year, they'll kick those little line drives if they've got the time for it, and they can make something happen with those.
That's got to be scary for opponent coaches when you have the starting QB as the starting punter as well.
Yeah, it also gives that opportunity to give the little wrinkle. You're going to make them think about it a little bit. Like, hey, this kid could just pull up and toss one or run it too with his feet.
Now, first time for the Hornets to have a tight end lined up. And I think that formation kind of put a chill in the Pioneers as they'll call their first time out of the half.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you're getting that one right. I mean, Saline's already got such a vicious leg up in this matchup here. You don't want to give them any extras.
And again, there's a lot of teachable moments out there. So even when you see this new formation, this is what we want to put you in a better position to defend this play. Saline really doesn't have to go deep inside the playbook because you know that there are people in the stands from Bedford who they face off next week, definitely in 2 weeks for the big SEC Red Showdown at Dexter. Dexter's playing tonight, hosting Huron. That game against Saline, man, that could go a long way, especially what happens tonight in Dexter.
Yeah, that'll be a fun matchup to check out.
And now the Pioneers will come out, or I'm sorry, the Hornets will come out. I'll hand that ball off to Nye Tamer, and he'll get about 5 on the play.
Pioneers showed a little blitz on that. They want to bring the heat there. You can see that outside edge rusher, but still got pushed to the outside.
And a good play there by number 52 for the Pioneers coming back in, Mike Crossley. He fought off the block and came in to make that tackle. Now a fake. Carl come out wide open over the middle. Number 84, Anthony Kaladi. Kaladi will take it for a first down. And they'll mark him down about the 40-yard line or 39 of the Pioneers.
Yeah, nice job of the play action there. Even with that pressure coming from the Pioneers, Carr did a great job of maintaining, finding his man up the field, hitting him on the run, and taking a little bit of a hit, but he kept his composure throughout.
Yeah, good rush there by Houston McCoy. Now Carr will step up through the pocket. He'll find his man coming on across on the crossing pass, Barbarino. Barbarino will go for another first, or close to a first down. Actually, it'll be about an 8-9 yard gain.
Really nice reception by Barbarino there, and I'm doing everything in my power
to not do
the ball back on it.
Well, none of these people know who Vinny Barbarino is.
No, these kids have
I mean,
no
you got to go to
clue.
the grandparents to find out about Vinny Barbarino.
I think that joke lands in the stands, but yeah, anybody on the field is probably just going to look at me like I'm from Mars.
Gabe Kaplan.
Yes, classic. All right, moving on from it.
Showing my age and trying not to get Nick older as Carr takes the snap. Nightimer will take it. He'll bust one tackle. Take number 9 for a ride there. That's Pace Nicholas. And he'll be brought down about the 6-yard line, where will be first and goal for the Hornets.
And like you mentioned at the beginning of this drive, nothing fancy, nothing crazy going on there. Just a really nice job of executing plays and then just running straight through. They're making the Pioneers make the plays, and thus far that has worked pretty nicely for Saline.
First incompletion for Carr. He was trying to find Messman in the corner there. It looks like it was a back shoulder throw as well, too.
Well, and why not? Messman's just head and shoulders taller than everybody else out there on the field.
Yeah, kind of like Parachek for Dexter. I mean, he's a big guy. And good hands, too. Looking right over the middle to him. And touchdown. Carr did not take his eyes off Valerio, and it looks like that was an easy pitch and catch.
No, after the initial pass, the previous play didn't work. They just moved him onto the inside. He cut up the middle, made a quick left run, and that was it. He had a step on his defender, and that was it.
I'm sorry I mixed that up. That was Dylan Messman on the reception. Is that Carr's 3rd touchdown so far?
Certainly is.
He had 4 touchdowns last week, so, I mean, this might be the week that he gets over that number.
I mean, if he sticks in there, if they stick with him, sky's the limit tonight.
Well, I mean, you do definitely, if you're the Hornets coaching staff, have to monitor when you want to pull them out. I mean, you do have Tom Carr, C.J. Carr's brother, as one of the other quarterbacks that you want to get some reps in. He's only, what is Tom? Is Tom a sophomore, or he's actually a freshman? So to get him some reps in probably would not be surprising to me later on tonight.
No, if this continues on as it's going right now, it would be pretty shocking to see Carr out there in the second half. But who knows? You know, he's got things to work on. You don't want him to get, you don't want him to get soft. You want him to get tired in any sort of way. So you want to keep him trotting him out there and want to keep him as fresh and sharp as possible.
You take a look at number 66 in the middle for Pioneer at midfield. He's sporting a little cast on his hand there. Can you see that, Nick? I mean, it's Wilson Martez, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he does.
That's the kind of players you want to have if you're Coach Griggs, right?
Don't
let a little bump or bruise stop me.
That's right.
Here's the kick, and Tyler Craig will take it. And this will actually do the reverse Farha step across the 25-yard line before he's brought down.
And if they won't kick it to your exciting, fast player, we'll just go and hand it off to him.
And the more times that you get Farha the ball, the more times he's going to just loosen up those legs and get going.
Right. Eventually, he's going to make something happen. Eventually, he's going to make, like you said, make somebody miss, see some green, see some daylight in front of him, and he's too fast just to keep bottled up the whole game. There's no way.
Now it looks like Wong is still QBing for the Pioneers in the gun. Saline looking like they're bringing a little bit of pressure. Wong on the rollout. He'll find Brabs right about the line of scrimmage. Maybe a little eke out a 1-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, getting Wong out, running, moving his feet again. And also, you said Wong kept coming out one more time. He didn't play that fourth quarter last week against Dexter. They were trying some different guys out. But I mean, Wong has taken an awful lot of hits this season already. He's taken some big hits from some big kids, but he keeps getting up and keeps going after it. And I don't see anything changing here this evening.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of Corey LaPointe last week, and we have seen some of Farha in the take some snaps. Not that time, but Tate Bezo will come in for the sack on Wong.
Right on cue. Here's Wong getting nailed by another senior lineman. You see Bezo just go right through that weak side lineman, and then just boom, takes him down.
Bezo's a big one too. He's another big defensive lineman for the Hornets, and he laid out for that tackle.
Yeah.
Final 20 seconds of the first quarter here. Probably will be our last play. The Pioneers take a peek over to the sideline, and it looks like the umpire has his hand raised, so they won't be able to run this clock out. Probably will have to snap it right before it goes to the end of the quarter. Nick, are we gonna?
Nope, that'll do it.
That will do it. So Coach Griggs will regroup his Pioneers after this first quarter's been all Saline Hornets. A 28-0 lead in this SEC Red matchup. We'll be right back with our second quarter.
Voting absentee in Ann Arbor's upcoming election is so easy, even a kid can do it. Simply register to be an absentee voter by sending the proper paperwork to the Ann Arbor City Clerk via email, mail, or in person. As the election approaches, absentee voters will receive their ballot in the mail. To vote, completely darken the box opposite each of your choices. When complete, place a ballot in the secret sleeve so votes cannot be seen and the number stub is visible. Place your ballot and secret sleeve in the return envelope. Seal, sign and date in the designated area, stamp and mail, or deliver your ballot in person to the city clerk before the close of polls on Election Day.
And welcome back to Hallway Field on homecoming weekend, Nick. and it's been all Saline Hornets. First time they had an opportunity to touch the ball, they took it back to the house on a touchdown, and they haven't let up since.
No, CJ Carr has been everything that he was advertised for us. Just a really composed, poised quarterback. Great arm, finds his guys that are open. And as a whole, what we've come to expect from Saline is good game plan, excellent route running, and they're just doing everything crisply. And Pioneers have had zero traction on either side of the ball so far.
Yeah, the hard count, getting Saline to jump was a surprising thing to see them take the penalty early in the game. Long now will fire that little swing pass over to the right. It'll be a good pickup on the play for Farha, and looks like it'll be very close to the first down.
Classic Jinx action right there, just talking down to the Pioneers, saying how they haven't gotten anything going.
Keep it going, man.
And yeah, the Pioneers want that. But an excellent job by Wong to come back, hit his man Farha. Farha makes a couple of guys miss and then hits those afterburners. And the Hornets have a hard time catching up with him because, as we said, he's fast.
Well, and I got to tell you, the officials need to check out a CTN Sports replay because they're marking this ball at least 2 yards shy of where Farha went out of bounds at. It'll still bring up a second and about fourth and four on the play. Sorry about that, and it's a punt. A wicked bounce, and it looked like McLosvic touched that ball, but he jumped back on it to recover for the Hornets.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It sure seemed like it hit his fingers, but it was too bad for Farha that he was just coming in like a cannonball.
I think
he certainly
definitely
touched that.
touched it.
Yep, and I don't know if Farha didn't see it or didn't realize it because he went flying past him.
If he didn't see it, why didn't we see a blue bag come out from the official?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, we did the beanbag.
Yeah.
We got a couple beanbags down. Okay. Now CJ Carr will start things for the second quarter for the Hornets from his 32-yard line. Actually, I haven't checked that. It's about the 27. And a run by Niedermeyer. And Niedermeyer is up to about the 42-yard line.
And still, what we're seeing from Saline are just some really basic, generic plays. Just a handoff up the gut, but look at that hole, just massive. And he's even got some really nice blocking upfield. Can't say it enough how nice Saline is in the basics category, in the fundamentals category.
And there we go again. The Hornets going it all the way to the house. Cade Fox will take it. Looks like that will be marked. But there is a penalty on the play, and I want to see the penalties right almost at midfield. The play went for, 52 yards or 58 yards on the play.
Looks like there's a flag on the play.
And it's going to be a holding on the Hornets, which will be pleasant news to the Pioneers. Is it the holding right there on Al-Kakani? Al-Kakani was thrown to the ground, number 20 for the Pioneers.
Blindsided a little bit, knocked down, like you said, thrown down, and I'm not sure how close to the play he actually was, but regardless, can't do that.
So that'll bring up a 2nd and 8, marked from the spot of the foul. Carr now, he'll go right back to Fox. Fox this time is rustled to the ground for a loss on the play. Good edge defense. Was that Craig on? Was that Tyler Craig?
Yep. And now you see Saline. I mean, this is probably the longest extended drive we've seen from them. They go no huddle, but they don't take the time that the Pioneers do.
And over the line of scrimmage, Carl B., and he's still gained some on the play as he's pulled down by Nicholas Pace.
Yeah, Carr did a really nice job of, I mean, he wanted to fire that ball, but the Pioneers had his downfield receivers completely covered. I mean, you could see those stutter steps towards the end. He really wanted to let go of that thing.
A good job that he's keeping his eyes downfield.
Yeah, he's not a run-first guy. Like, that's not in, I mean, he can do it, obviously, as we're seeing, but that's not his MO. He wants to launch the ball. He wants to find those receivers.
Have we mentioned that he's Willie Carr's grandson yet?
Not yet.
Not yet, but
first time, made it all the way to the second quarter, though.
Wow. Carr now fired over to his left side. Looks like that was Roman Lario on the catch.
Pass complete to
And
Roman
of course, Lloyd Carr, legendary coach of Belleville High School.
Belleville?
True story?
At Westland John Glenn?
Nope.
Okay.
His protege, Chuck Gordon, went to John Glenn.
It is being ruled a first down.
Love that knowledge, man.
Chuck Gordon's my father-in-law.
So you definitely know. And now Carr's going downfield. Man wide open on the play will be Cade Fox. 48-yard touchdown. Number 4 on the night for C.J. Carr.
And again, Carr just, you can only say it so much. The composure, the arm, just hit that man in motion, just waits for the play to develop, and just launches that to Fox in stride. Exactly right.
I mean, and there's several ways to throw that deep ball. He went with the line drive. He didn't have to put a lot of air up under it because Fox was 10 yards in front of the defender. Just get him the ball, young man.
Bierman's kick is good.
Bierman will finish that drive off with the extra point.
Saline 35, Pioneer nothing. 10:08 remaining.
Yeah, right you are. Here we see Carr waits on his man, and just like you said, just a really nice rope right into his man. Exactly right.
Yeah, it's tough defense over there for Al Kakani. Thought he had some help coming in from the safety position, all alone out there on an island. Man, got to feel for that young man.
I mean, and yeah, that's just a lone, helpless feeling out there when you've got these big, fast kids just blowing by you, and you know you're about to get it.
And especially when you have a thrower with the range and arm like Carr, bad things will happen. And now Bierman lines up for the kickoff. Still back deep is going to be Farha and Craig Tyler. Beautiful evening, Nick. You can see it in the background here. I mean, the sky is now picture-perfect fall setting. Oh, look at Farha. One man to beat. Oh, man, he's spinning around it almost to midfield. And we said this is one of the most exciting guys in the county, in the conference. He shows you right there, Nick.
Yeah, Farhad did a great job of going that right up the gut there. We saw that speed. We saw him make a couple men miss, and then those spins upfield. He used those to avoid those players, but I think sadly that might have slowed him down a little bit. Great little misdirection to start things off, and that might have gotten him that extra step that got him up to nearly midfield. That's
coaching right there, because the last 3 kickoff returns, we've seen that out of the Pioneers, that action. One time Craig keeps it, and then he gives it to Farha. That time Farha with the fake. Love it when coaches build off of one play to the next. But now come in motion. He'll line up in the backfield. Wong to the air again. He'll find Farha right in midfield. He'll back step to the 49. 2-yard gain on the play.
Somewhere between the 49
yeah, you mentioned it. You love it how the coaches build, but yeah, that play might not happen if they don't do that reverse. They don't do that handoff on a previous kickoff.
It takes the eyes of the defenders coming down. They're like, maybe he's handing it off, and that split second is all Farha needs.
Yeah, it's that split second. It's that one step that gets you that little bit further, and that can break something big for you.
Now, if only Wong could have a little bit of time to find a man downfield, he'll go to the swing pass instead.
Ocean Brabs gets the pass.
That'll be Ocean Brabs on the reception. It'll bring up a 3rd and short. Looks like it'll be 3rd and about 2 on the play.
It'll be 3rd down and about 2 or 3.
You see Wong right there gets to Brabs. Brabs has been a nice target for Wong. He's a tall kid, and he's really nice at making some separation as well. He might not have the speed that Farha has, but runs a nice route, a little bit of a bigger dude, and he's a good look as well.
Isaiah Harris, again, the freshman for the Hornets on the tackle, playing left end right now. Wong trying to send over messages and looks over to Berghardt. Hornets again showing pressure. Wong stepping up, maybe to change the play as he notices that pressure. And here it comes. Wong unable to avoid the rush from the Hornets. Looks like the ball popped out though.
It looked like the ball popped out. That was almost definitely caused by the ground. But when you talk about a pocket collapsing, watch as these guys just completely surround him. Any one of 4 dudes could have brought him down at that point.
Peyton Wyden on the blitz there. It's just too many men to block actually that time for the Pioneers offensive line. And wrong to line up for a punt, but this is that position of the field that you have to be on alert, and the Hornets are on alert because you might have a fake, and that's just what happens. Unfortunately, Bonasso will not have enough yardage for the first down. It'll be a turnover on downs for the Pioneers.
Just a really nice try for that. There you can see, we'll see the snap, the quick one to Bonasso. And again, a little bit of a trickeration at the end there. You saw Wong run back a little bit as if the ball went over his head. None of the Hornets were falling for that, though. They did push it forward a few yards, just short, unfortunately.
And it looked like it was Wyden again on the tackle for the Hornets, but they definitely didn't put all 10 guys on the line of scrimmage. They dropped some back. They were on high alert for that fake. And now Carr lines his squad up. 8 minutes, 10 seconds in the second quarter. Carr on the slant pass. He'll find his man, Roman Lario. Lario will go for a first down, about a 15-yard gain.
Still more of those simple little passes that we've seen from Saline so far. Simple but effective.
Yeah, and it on that play, it didn't look like there was any protection. It was like a man defense for the Pioneers. Now the Hornets will keep the ball on the ground. First time, that'll be James Rush with the carry, another freshman.
Wow. Wow. I mean, like you said, an embarrassment of riches when you can throw 9th graders out there, still in the first half, with other players, with other teams in your division. That's incredible.
And they're solid. I mean, these young guys, they have skills.
Right, we've seen them on both sides of the ball, and they're contributing.
On a 2nd and 1, right up the middle. And that'll be another first down for the Hornets.
Picks up a first down and more.
That was Nytamer again on the run.
21-yard line.
Now they're swapping in and out of backs. Empty backfield now for the Hornets. That's a scary feeling for the Pioneer defense as Carr looks over. They'll find Cade Fox on the crossing pattern. Fox will go out of bounds about the 7. And Fox, once he gets the ball, he turns into a fullback.
Yeah, we've seen him line up some players, and he's a tough kid to bring down. The Pioneers have had a real hard time wrapping up. You know, his size obviously plays a part of that, but he's fast. He's elusive. You saw that little juke right there. He made that first guy miss, and then just pulling him in was the real problem.
Bonenberger took the brunt of that. And now first and goal for the Hornets. Carl hand the ball off and making his way, weaving his way to the end zone for the touchdown will be Ryan Nytamer. Nytamer's second. Is that Nytamer's second on the night?
That's number 1 for him, actually. Amazingly.
Yeah.
Amazingly, for as well as he's run, you know, they've seemed to go to him more when they were midfield. But here you can see him, I mean, he cut inside. He was looking for just the smallest opening possible, you know, right up the gut, and he found it. I mean, he very easily could have went outside. It looked like initially that's what he was trying for. But he cut it back inside. He saw that opening and plunges in.
Good patience and vision by the runner. Gets 6 for the Hornets, and that'll move our score to 42-0. And you can see, yeah, on that replay, the running back just made his way through the hole and then had a nice little burst when he saw the opening.
Yeah. Yeah, just not a lot that the Pioneers can do to either wrap somebody up or even slow them down in any meaningful way. And yeah, you called it 42-0 now as we see on the scoreboard. Sun has not even set here on Friday night.
And see, when you get good, you get TV sets put on your sideline.
Yeah, and they're not playing Call of Duty down there. They're checking things out. They're still trying to make sure that their formations are as strong as they should be. They're making sure that all the assignments are met. And while they are ahead, not everything is perfect. And this is what great teams do. This is what great programs do. They keep everybody engaged, and they're going over things right away. So that feeling and that look is still fresh.
Love your explanation on it, but I wish they were playing Call of Duty. Maybe Black Ops 2.
It might be interesting. Might be interesting.
Throwback.
We could talk about that a little bit as well.
Beautiful evening. Look at that skyline. And I'm not talking about the high school.
Now looks good coming up over the stands there. Great fall Friday here in the state of Michigan.
We've been lucky with some very great weather over the last 3 weeks. No rain, nothing like that here in week 5, week 6. Love it.
Epic jinx. I can't wait for hurricane winds to just be knocking our camera guys off their spots next week.
You're making the call already, huh?
No, you're right, though. The weather has been great. This is almost perfect football weather. Very little wind. Not a cloud in sight. Crisp weather, not too cold, not hot like that first week. Just exactly what you want.
And you're seeing less injuries out on the field. We saw a lot of people cramping up the first couple weeks of the season with the weather cooling down like this. This is perfect weather for football, and that's why the stands are packed too. I mean, you got a game that's out of pocket really for Pioneer, and their sideline on homecoming weekend. It's a great sight to see that everybody's still in the stands supporting the Purple Gang on.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of fan support from the Purple Gang, from Pi High, like you said. Regardless of who they're playing, regardless of the outcome, these kids and family members are coming to the game. They're watching and they're staying. They're staying for the duration, and that's been really impressive too. And I'm sure that Coach Griggs and his players appreciate it. When they did get that win at Skyline a couple of weeks ago, the kids ran on the field. They were out there.
Now on second down, it'll be Bonasso. We'll pick up a couple on the play. Be about a 3-yard gain, bringing up a 3rd and 5. You're right. The support for the Pioneers, it's been great. First-year coaches, sometimes they'll be split, where you'll have some of the fans that want it, maybe somebody else hired. They're a naysayer in the stands. Now for Coach Griggs, it looks like he's got a very good foundation of support from the parents and students of in the school.
Yeah, he's just got that personality where he can rally the troops. He keeps people optimistic because he's optimistic. Just a likable guy. We both talked to him at various points over the course of the season, and it's hard not to like somebody saying the things he's saying and doing the things that he's doing.
Wong this time will thankfully throw that one over the head of a Bonenberger, who is covered tightly on the play. That'll bring up a 4th and 5.
We'll see if Long back there again. I have to imagine he's going to actually punt this one away. Maybe whether it's going to be something high and end over end, or if he's going to try for the old line drive.
Mikulowski back deep for the Hornets. And this would be probably the best kick of the night. A little distance as well as some hang time from Wong. And that'll bounce out about the 42-yard line. 41.
41-yard line, it appears.
For the Hornets.
Yeah, not too shabby for Wong there. Like you said, probably the best we've seen from this evening. Maybe one of the best all year. But that came very nearly hitting Sam Miller on the Hornets. Could have went off a foot, could have went off a knee, and then something could have happened there for Pioneers.
Yeah, that's where you definitely, the Hornets coaching staff is probably going nuts, screaming fire, 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 get away from that ball. Carl still remain the quarterback, up 42 to zip. We're right at 5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter.
Yeah, you got to think that regardless of outcome here, Carr will at least finish out the first half.
Carr now looking over the field. He'll find his man again, Cade Fox. Fox will break a tackle, go out of bounds about the 35-yard line of the Pioneers. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Hornets.
Gets the pass on the first down.
I think Carr's only had 2 incomplete passes.
That sounds right. That's unofficial, obviously, but that feels right. And man, when he's throwing balls like that, it's easy to see why that's the case.
And he's hitting guys that are crossing across his body. They tell quarterbacks never throw late across your body like that, but he's got some pepper on that ball. Now Carr again will look deep, he'll look left, and now he'll go right all the way to the end zone, right on the money, and that'll be a touchdown. And is that Mario?
It is Mario once again.
And that was a look-off pass from Carr. Before, you'll see him look to his right and then immediately turn to his left and just let it flank.
And
nice
you'll
little
see
flick.
a great pass, but again, in between 2 Pioneer defenders. That had a little less of the lead that we've seen. Lario had to turn around and come back to that one a little bit, but still the gumption to throw that into 2 purple players is really impressive.
Well, that's when you have a lot of confidence in your arm when you do that. And you can see Carr right there in the middle of the picture checking out a replay of the drive that just happened for the Hornets. We're taking some time as one of the Pioneer players was injured on the play. He makes his way to the sideline. Number 50, not sure who 50 is. One of our unknown. I always love the ringers when they throw us in a ringer that's not on the roster, man.
Well, I'm sure that even if he's a late addition, he's a welcome late addition from Coach Griggs and everybody else. But yeah, there's Lario again, making that reception over the 2 players, falling into the end zone. Great job by him sticking with it, going back, making that catch despite 2 players in his face, and then getting into the end zone.
So I know we're only at 4:29 in the second quarter, but C.J. Carr is trying to put his little John Hancock on the key player of the game, I'll tell you.
Sure seems likely. Sure seems likely. Again, you got to think we're going to still see him maybe one more time this half. But yeah, C.J. Carr, possibly the lock to the key player of the week this week.
I see what you're doing.
Yes.
I
wrote that a couple of weeks ago. Now I finally get to use it.
Yeah.
Here we'll see Coach Griggs, first-year coach Kelvin Griggs. Again, a big part of what he needs to do is keep in touch, keep talking to, you see him talking to his coach there, but keep talking to his players, keep telling them heads up, and keep focusing in on some victories here, right? They need to cross midfield with this offense. They need to get a big play or 2. They need to get in that end zone in order to keep these kids engaged, keep those shoulders up, those chests out a little bit. And, if they do hit that end zone once or twice, they can say, hey, we put some points up on those guys.
I like Coach Griggs' body language in that shot. He's walking on the sideline, still beaming of confidence, and that's what his players see. His players aren't seeing him slouch his shoulders, aren't screaming, losing his temper. He's calm, under control. Yeah, the game's out of hand right now, but this is a learning season. This is something where we're getting, what do we call it, deductive learning. This is where he is trying to instill that type of culture upon his players. And now get a new returner back there. And that's Javante Holmes into the game. We thought he was hurt, but it looks like he's made it out there onto the field, thankfully for the Pioneers.
And that's the type of play that we've seen from Holmes. He's really quick, maybe not the most elusive person in the world. He's not going to make a lot of moves, but he's going to go out there. Also going out there, here we've got the rest of our Game of the Week schedule coming out. We've got Skyline at Huron next week, followed by Lincoln at Huron on October the 14th. Please continue to check us out. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on CTN. Follow us on social media, and we'll keep doing the best we can to bring you the absolute best things going on in Washtenaw County.
Wong now with the snap. He'll scramble, and he'll take it back to the line of scrimmage. Nick, looking over our schedule coming up, we really haven't had that many close games, but it's just been that way, the way the cards have been dealt out for this year. Some of the real close games are on the road, so we're not making it over to watch a Dexter and Huron game. But it's all in all been a very solid season. I'm glad to show some of the outlining schools and not just the in-city schools this year.
Yeah, and when you've got schools, when you've got programs like Saline, you've got these really fun stories like Dexter, who's been playing really well. It is cool to see them come into, like you said, the in-city schools and get to see some of these really incredible players and get to see these programs that are carving a niche for themselves.
Now Wong looking over the Saline defense. He'll take it and fire to Farha. Farha with a little bit of room. He could take it. He's brought down about the 42-yard line by the Hornets. Great pass and catch there for the Pioneers.
I think that's number 80, Sullivan Mills, that ended up catching up to Farha and getting him from behind. That doesn't happen to that young man very often when somebody comes from behind and gets him, but great job by Mills to stay with him, get an arm on him, and drag him down.
It looked like Mills was in fourth gear and Farha was still in third, about to switch it, because you saw Farha pull away from all the other defenders. Mills, thankfully for the Hornets, shut Farha down before he tasted pay dirt. 2:40 on the game clock here in the second period, as the Pioneers now in the Hornet territory, and that ball kind of surprised Ocean Grabs. Looked like it was there before he turned his head around for it.
And then we had number 20, Ryan Stein, step in front of that one and nearly get his hands on that one as well. But you called it. Brabs was turning back for it, but Stein just had a better angle on that one coming in.
I bet if Wong had that one back, he'd like to have it just a couple feet further in front of Brabs where he could turn and catch it in stride. So now they'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from the 43-yard line for the Pioneers as they get their play in from the sideline. Still 2 timeouts remaining for the Pioneers if they choose to use them. And that's a bad snap. It kind of looked like the snap was conventional when the quarterback was in shotgun formation there.
Yeah, it did seem like it was meant to be like you said, traditional, just handoff. Here we can see, or maybe he just caught his thigh on it, or caught the ball on his thigh as it went back.
I think that's called a butt snap.
Butt snap. We've seen butt fumbles, we've seen butt punts, and now the old
I
butt
mean,
snap.
seriously,
Very possibly. Very possibly.
That might make our highlight reel at the end of the season.
I'm sure that the center does not want that to see any sort of highlight reel. He doesn't want to see that in game film on Monday. He doesn't want to talk about it ever again. Don't blame him.
Now Wong. Hopefully he'll get the snap. Perfect snap that time. The pressure right on Wong. And he'll fling it. And hopefully that's not going to draw a penalty. Cruiser was all in on Wong, and Wong gets up feeling the pain from that hit.
Yeah, nice job of Wong to fight him off as much as he could, as long as he could, but he could only stay away from the inevitable for so long. He did fire that one out. I've got to say he was away from the tackle box. It didn't even seem like there was somebody roughly in that general area. But still, you don't want your young quarterback launching some haphazard thing into wherever. Oh, no, and they are going to call intentional ground again.
Yeah, I think they're going to call that penalty. It's a loss of down two and bring up 4th down because the ball was snapped at the 45. Let's see where the pass goes to in the pass attempt. It doesn't go anywhere near the line of scrimmage.
No, and I misspoke. There was clearly no one over there. I must have thought Coach Griggs was an eligible man because that was the only person who was near.
But actually this year, we were mentioning this earlier in a couple broadcasts, that quarterbacks at the high school level can throw the ball away without a receiver in the vicinity as long as they're out of the blocking box. Now a punt by Wong. This will take a very kind bounce for the Pioneers and go out about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, so he's got that to build on. But yeah, you saw Wong get up from that tackle, holding his ribs, holding his side. The last thing you want to do when you just took a shot like that is stretch out and kick that ball the way he did.
Oh, I know, but it's a good sign that he did get up, because a lot of times quarterbacks can. That's how you jam a shoulder when a defender is falling on you after you've just thrown the ball.
Yeah, just a terrible feeling to get racked up that way and have that big body fall over on you. And inevitably, that's what it is. It's a lineman, it's a linebacker that's just much bigger than that quarterback.
And now on the handoff will be James Rush, and he will take it to the house.
Although we do have a flag in the backfield. Probably right about where there would have been a hole.
Yeah, and you see Carr grabbing his helmet as he's running down the field. And it does look like this one may come back, thankfully, for the Pioneers.
And we'll see the Hornets just trot back there. I mean, they're trotting back almost at full speed. I wouldn't be shocked to see them run that same play again.
Yeah, Rush, he hit that corner, and he was gone. Let's see if we can see the, oh, yeah, the tackle. That wasn't a hold, that was a tackle. That looked like, what was that, 77? Sotheby. We'll take another look on that, but it looked like it was 77 on the tackle. The wide side tackle. Let's see him pulling in. Let's watch 77 here. And Bonasso gets pulled down to the ground.
Yep. Knocked right in the back. Although lost in all of this is some really nice moves by the running back there. He cut back inside and then went outside. Good hip work there, and nice job of making those players miss.
Rush on the run, and that'll be for about a 10-yard gain. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. And now Carr handed off again to Rush. Rush will find an opening. Tackled up high, right around the neck area, around the 44-yard line of the Pioneers. Bonenberger went upstairs for this tackle.
Yeah, but once again, I mean, does a nice job of following his blockers before he needs to push it into extra gear. And yeah, Bonenberger, like just that slap across the front of his chest, upper pad area.
I think he broke his freaking neck. Let's see. That's a 1-yard loss on the run. They don't have too many plays like that in Saline.
For losses? No, very rarely.
Let's see what they call a timeout. Only 10 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Not really a time if you're being sportsmanlike to call a timeout. And you can see on the sideline the staff of the Hornets just waving their team off as they will take this one into halftime, sporting a large 49-0 lead over the Pioneers. Don't go away, folks. We have our very special homecoming band presentation coming up next. Hey folks, thanks for watching. If you do me a favor, please leave a comment on some of the games you would like to view in the future, as well as hit that like button in the corner.
Catchy beat. When it comes to finding the best music for a training montage or fight sequence, It Takes the Cake is one of the top song choices. Now, get ready to get your rock on as the Pioneer Marching Band performs Eye of the Tiger.
please welcome the Pioneer Cheer Team. Way to go, Pioneer Cheer Team.
And welcome back to Hallway Field as we get ready for the second half kickoff. Pioneers kicking to the Hornets. You see the score on the bottom of the screen after that wonderful halftime show. It will probably be a fast second half, Nick, because we'll have a running clock due to that score.
Yeah, clock's running like crazy, and also crazy enough, Saline will be receiving the ball here, starting things off in the second half, because the Pioneers elected to start in that first half receiving, much to their own chagrin, sadly.
And is there a penalty on the play? It looks like, or did it just go out of bounds on the 35-yard line?
Yeah, I think that one went out of bounds, which we've seen it's been kind of a running issue with the Pioneers, their kicking game as a whole, whether it's a kickoff or even their punting. That's not uncommon. We've seen it quite a bit from them.
Yeah, that's amazing to see so many kickoffs go out of bounds. I'm sure that's something they have to focus on during practice. Looks like we have a new quarterback, but the same name from the quarterback, Tommy Carr is in at quarterback, freshman. He'll turn and hand off to Rush.
James Rush, the ball carrier, gets the handoff.
Rush will get about almost 10 yards on the play.
And I'll be interested to see if they let the freshman air it out at all. He's looking over the sideline, or if it's just going to be more of this pound the rock. One way or another, clock's moving.
Clock's moving, and they've been successful. So, I mean, a lot of the linemen, you may not get a lot of the glory or a lot of the fame or even get your name called. They're still doing work, and you got young linemen in there. There's a counter trey play. Rush right up the middle. They'll gain about 7 on the play.
That's good enough for the first down on that one. Move the chains. As we said, running clock here so far with a 49-zip score. But, yeah, I mean, this is a good opportunity for everybody to work with different players, right? You know, this isn't a one-man team. You want to have these parts that can come in and out and work together flawlessly when you've got a good team this way.
Yeah, and we were talking about the numbers for the Hornets as far as their underclassmen are concerned. They have nearly 25 freshmen and sophomores on this roster. I mean, that's amazing.
And that's almost as many as the entire team over on the other sideline.
Another run on the play there. You see Barnett come off the field. Now this will be a 2nd and 8. Maybe we'll see Carr unleash his arm as he backs up and looks over the defense. He will turn and hand off. And switching that ball back and forth in between his hands was Nate Wolper.
Once again, the winning ticket number.
No, I really don't think unless we see a long 3rd down, here we see that handoff to Welper there. Again, a massive hole. Would have been really easy for him to just turn right and go up that side, but I think he just had his head down and was following the way the play was supposed to be run, which is, I guess, what you want from your players. Like, hey, do this thing I told you. But yeah, that'll be 3rd down, like you said, 3rd and short, and maybe on a 3rd down play, maybe now we'll see Carr air it out a bit.
Little RPO. He'll turn and hand the ball off right up the middle. And that'll be Nate Wolper again. He'll take it for the 1st down to the 32-yard line.
You've got the freshman handing it off to the sophomore there. And that time he did decide which direction to go. He took that right side. Yep.
Well, like you said, he's a sophomore, so sometimes getting to the edge is what they're used to playing youth football. Just get out to the edge and turn it up north and south. But when you get higher in the ranks, just going north and south with the ball is the best bet a lot of the times.
Well, and again, do what the coach told me. You don't want to freestyle out there and put anything in jeopardy.
And that'll be Zane Issa on the carry, number 22.
Zane Issa, the ball carrier.
Issa will take it for a gain of about 6 on the play.
And I think we are just going to get a steady diet of these runs up the gut. Even if Pioneer does step up and make some stops here, I can't imagine they're going to do too much different.
Well, and for Coach Polka, he doesn't want to look like the bad guy, right? When you're up 49-0 and then you come out in your opening drive and you're unleashing pass plays, a lot of coaching staffs remember that. Now a jet sweep, that'll be Jaden Leonard. Leonard will be tossed out of bounds by Craig. And Tyler Craig get a penalty. And I want to see if it was just because of the aggression or did Craig go upstairs on the head?
Here he sees, gets a nice move there. Thinks about going inside. Thinks he's got the outside. Tries to make a move. And
Where's
he tossed him. I mean, I guess they're looking for, we'd prefer if you would wrap him up and bring him down traditionally, but he's that much bigger than the kid, too. You think a face mask?
That's what they called on that play. They called a 15-yard penalty for face mask, and it looks like that face mask wouldn't have been on Craig, but it would have been on number 16 instead.
Josh. Oh, no, that would have been Jacob Holmes.
So that'll bring up a 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line, looks like. Now Carr again will hand the ball off. Issa be ridden to the ground there by Martez and Crossley. It'd be nice to see the Pioneers toughen up and stiffen up here in their backs to the end zone, Nick.
Well, and you'd think that they would just pile everybody up into the middle there, but I mean, Saline still is going wide. They've still got 4 wide, so it's not so easy just to stack the box and hope that they stop that run.
And looks like almost a jet action, but it'll be a counter. Handing the ball off to 23. It'll be Wolper again. He'll take it down to about the 4-yard line. They'll mark him at the 5.
And a little bit of work for everybody over there in the backfield for Saline.
And they keep rotating players into the backfield. Noah Barnett jogging onto the field. It still looks like in the backfield we'll have Nate Wolper. Wolper will get it again, and he'll be real close, but down right about the 1-yard line.
Yeah, I thought he skipped in, but not so fast, as they say.
Did they give him the touchdown on that? Because the far side, I was looking at the far side ref, and the linesman there is down at the 1.
Yeah, I was looking at the far side judge as well. Like, he's got his hands in his pockets.
Yeah, he's dialed it in already. Yeah, new place kicker will be Ethan Constanica kicking for the Hornets. And his kick is up, and it is true. So that'll be 56-0. 5:42 on the clock. Hey, they broke the rules. They stopped the clock. They usually keep it going.
I mean, it might have had something to do with the confusion of waiting to call that touchdown that they decided to give it a little bit of a rest.
I love the ref that we were talking about, the lines judge. He still has his hands in his pockets as the ref goes over and talks to him. And he's like, yeah, I think he was down at the 1, but I'm going to go ahead and let y'all call this touchdown in. That's so funny.
It is funny that you and I were both dialed in on the guy who would seemingly had
He
the
marked
best
the play.
look at that.
It looked
right?
like he marked it at the 1-yard line. Let's see where he goes down at. He looks like his knee was down. That couldn't tell really from the angle where the ball was at. But the one ref on the bottom is calling touchdown. The ref on the top of the screen, though, hands in the pockets, counting change.
Never budged. But we did see that near side official with his hands up, and then he kind of dropped them in a "Are we sure?" look, in an "Are we sure?" manner.
One more time. I don't know. It looks like he's a little short to me.
He did look short. Like I feel like his knees were down, and he's just skidded into the end zone.
Well, it looks like the Riley Bierman will be in for the kickoff for the Hornets. And back deep will be Farha. Looks like he's joined back there by 16. The 18, he'll take it on the fake and he'll keep it.
Charles Cameron Jr.
And he gets it all the way to the 28, where it'll be a first down for the Pioneers. Yeah, my understanding of the game clock when the score is like this is they only stop it for timeouts and injuries. And even extra points, they allow the clock to run. But again, like you said, it's some confusion. Maybe there's somebody from homecoming up there working that's a throwback person that doesn't know about the rules. You never know, right?
Could be. I thought you were going to say somebody from their homecoming. Maybe they're dancing up there.
They're starting to party
some
already.
Slow dancing. Yeah, you never know.
Hey, a little bit of room in between these people. Slow dancing. Come on. And is LaPointe in for the Pioneers?
Surely is.
He'll take the snap and hand it right off up the middle.
Yeah, the Hornets, they don't want their main quarterback, Carr, to get hurt. So after the first half, take him out, sit him down, rest him in case of, any bad things. I'm going to say the Pioneers are thinking the same thing. We just want Long to carry us through the rest of the season. No reason to keep trotting him out there with the possibility of some sort of injury.
Yeah, and to build off of that, get LaPointe some reps. We saw this last week when the Dreadnoughts had to score a little bit out of pocket. Coach Griggs brought in his second quarterback.
And he threw a touchdown.
It'll be a quick pitch out to Craig, and Craig will be very close to a Pioneer first down. And they'll mark this one actually for a first down.
Just a nice two-handed power pitch into his guy there.
And Tyler Craig's a good athlete. You can put him out there on the field in various positions, and he just produces.
Yeah, that's the one thing that we have seen from these Pioneers. Maybe a lack of football players, but there are a lot of athletes out there. They've got kids that can run. They've got kids that can make things happen.
A little LaPointe sidearm over to Farha. Farha haul it in for about a 9-yard gain on the play. Nice pitch and catch.
Gain of about 8.
Yeah, LaPointe finds his man. Obviously, you're looking for your number one target, and Farha's going to stay out there and hopefully eat up some yards and build on something for himself here as well.
That was a lively throw there from LaPointe as well. And there doesn't seem to be a quarterback in the vicinity for the Pioneers right now. They're all looking to the sideline. And now coming in, LaPointe sets his offense. Craig to his right. Craig will take the handoff, and he'll be bobbled up in the backfield, hit immediately by Jason Leposcu.
Yeah, here's that downside of having your secondary quarterback and your backup quarterback in, though, just that little bit more of confusion that can happen back there.
Boy, you look at the interior defensive line for the Hornets and check out number 63 right there in the middle. Nicholas Reichel. He's just as big as the guy he replaced, 99. I mean, they grow him big down in Saline. Bonenberg will take that pass for a first down, 8-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, you called it with Reichel there. I mean, he is a big kid, and he's a big tackle coming inside there, and he has already gotten in on the Pioneers a few times already.
And you can see him chasing down that after putting in a rush. Good hustle on the play.
Well, that's what you got to do. This is your time to shine, right?
You get extra snaps when you can put some good tape out there,
That's
right? And the Pioneers will cross over midfield. LaPointe with a nice drive here actually coming in as we approach 90 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
Yeah, LaPointe's done a really nice job of finding some open players up the field and making some strong handoffs as well, and they've been good pitches to him. Snaps to him the whole way.
And he'll roll out, LaPointe will, and gain about 5 yards on the play. Putting in some chase there was Bennett Pickles.
45 or 36 yards.
Another sophomore for the Hornets.
And there you've got the double team on Reichel right there. It took two dudes to put him down on the ground, and he still came up
I was going to
fuming.
say, the motor's still going for Reichel. Gotta like that young man.
That's some quick thinking by the Pioneers on the sideline. Hey, two dudes on that guy. Two dudes on that guy.
Well, they're probably tuning into CTN Sports.
Who isn't?
Why not? LaPointe will keep it, and he'll make a business decision and take a slide before number 36 comes in and lays him out, Andrew Black.
No gain on that play. Make it 3rd and 6.
So that may be the final play of the period with only 20 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. LaPointe looking to the sideline to Coach Griggs as the Pioneers slowly set their offense. And yeah, it looks like they'll just take this one and ride it out to the fourth quarter now.
Yeah, can't imagine there's a reason to run a play here. There's no need for it here.
So after a rough first quarter, first half, only, what is it, 7 points put up in the third quarter. So not a bad job for the Pioneers. We'll take ourselves a short break and be right back here for the fourth quarter of our CTN Sports Game of the Week. And as we begin our fourth quarter, the Pioneers will take a 3rd and 6. LaPointe throw the ball over to Ocean Brabs. He'll take it almost to the 40-yard line. It'll bring up a 4th and 5 for the Pioneers.
And you go for it here, right?
Why not?
Yep.
I don't even bring in the Wong at quarterback. I let LaPointe just wing it.
Yeah, no need for any sort of trickeration. Just here it is. I mean, it's 4th and 4, what they're calling them. Just go for it. You're in that spot anyway.
You're getting snaps in for your younger players. It's about trying to get some live action, some good teachable moments on film. LaPointe looks to the sideline for the play. A little indecision right now from the Pioneers coaching staff what they want to go for. I mean, it's really a 4th and makeable being 4th and 5. One missed tackle, and you should get there.
Well, you'd like to see just one of those little slant routes from either Farha or Brabs.
Oh, nice way to break from the tackle and throw the ball downfield, but it's through the hands of Ocean Brabs. LaPointe with a good job of busting the tackle from Dylan Messman. And we've talked about how big Messman is. Wow, what a play, Nick.
Yeah, that's just a bummer. A great job, like you said, by LaPointe. Avoids players, gets away from a bigger kid. He's waiting on another big hit coming his way. Gets it right to Brabs, and he just doesn't bring it down. He's thinking about turning and running, or he's thinking about those dudes in front of him.
Just took his eyes off of it right at the last minute. And you're right. LaPointe, he took a blow to deliver that ball downfield. And all he wanted was a completion out of that.
Yeah, that's disheartening for him, and because he really made that play and paid the price, and his guy didn't quite get it.
So Tommy Carr will be back at quarterback for the Hornets as they line up in a pistol formation now. He'll turn and hand the ball off to Issa. Issa looks like he'll get about 1 or 2 on the play.
As usual, famous last words. I do not think we're going to see Carr's arm do anything than go into the breadbasket of one of these 3 or 4 running backs.
It's really not needed at this point of the game. You know, one, you want to get those running backs some reps. 2, you want to get that offensive line humming and getting into some blocking positions. And 3, you don't want to give any bulletin board material to the Pioneers that they can remember and build off of.
No, and that's a classy move by Palka. He knows that this game is in hand. He doesn't want to do anything crazy. Like you said, you don't want that bulletin board material. You don't want those things coming back for you. But that's just what you do when you have been a coach in this division for as long as you have. You're seeing these same guys over and over again. You don't want to put a bad taste in their mouth. You want to have a good working relationship, as you should.
Well, since his first year at the helm, Polka had a losing season. Since then, he's only dropped 2 games each year. He's developed a confidence in coaching as well that he doesn't have to show off and show up his opponent.
Exactly right.
Giving it some chase on Carr. Carr will put the ball in the air this time. It'll be an incomplete pass. Looking for Miller Grambeau on the pass there.
And he looked really nice coming out of that pocket as well. Same deal. He kept his eye on his man. He kept those feet moving but fluttering, and then put a little pepper on it. He hit his guy, but just couldn't bring that one in. I mean, he was surrounded by a lot of Pioneers on that one.
And Liam Rower was the Pioneer defensive lineman with the pressure. Now Carr again with a 4th down. They'll keep the ball on the ground, and that'll be a good turnover on downs by a tackle from the Ringer. We're going to call number 50 the Ringer until we get a roster with his name on it. But good defensive play there. Watch 50 come in. Oh, this is a replay.
This is that 3rd down play, exactly right.
Wow, it must be in the family genes, right? Hit the receiver in the chest. Nice pass there by Carr. Now the Pioneers take it over on the Saline 45. Quick toss out to Craig. Craig will make a man miss. He'll take it about a 14-yard gain. Ball did come out at the end. Let's see if the Hornets come away with it, though.
Saline thinks they've got it, and that near line judge also would agree with that. That will be Hornet ball.
Yeah, it looks like that was number 40, Coleman Ross, maybe on the recovery. And it does look like there's still Craig getting up a little bit gimpy from that hit.
Yeah, it could be, looks like an ankle issue down there possibly.
Yeah, that leg wasn't moving too much. He did start off well here as Craig makes it up the edge, and it looks like his leg will get twisted up under him. Ball ripped from him by 49 on the play. Aiden Bird.
Yeah, you see at the end of that run, all his momentum is completely stopped, but he's still up and eligible, and I think that was part of the problem, that a couple of Hornets came in and took him down in just an awkward way.
It's been that kind of night for the Pioneers. Now Carr again at quarterback. Tommy Carr, that is. He'll turn and hand the ball right up the middle. Issa will take it for a 5-yard gain.
Zane Issa, the ball carrier.
Looks like he was brought down by 64, Houston McCoy.
Yeah, handoffs as our tradition here, moving forward here with only 5:27 left to go in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, back in the old school days, you would say they're just trying to get the clock running.
Not the same. Now they're just trying to still, everything's going to run regardless, but no need to get anybody hurt. No need to, like you said, do anything flashy. Just run this one out and take that bus back up 23.
Well, it's been 10 years since the Pioneers have been victorious over the Hornets. So if we go in the Wayback Machine, Nick, 2012, let's hit you with some trivia, see if you can come up with some answers here. This is something that you and I know well, but maybe some of our listeners don't and viewers. What about a Blu-ray movie? How much is a Blu-ray movie in 2012?
In 2012, I could $25.
Hey, you're close. It was $19.99. How about the price of a music CD?
The old compact disc. If you were to ask one of these players on the field even what a compact disc was, other than possibly a coaster, I don't think you're getting, like, I'll give you $4 for that coaster, sir, that shiny coaster.
Well, it's probably at somebody's grandma's house, too, as some type of antique. But, yeah, all right, here's one. This is an easy one. Times Magazine Person of the Year in 2012. 2012.
Captain America.
Man, you're so close. Yeah, President Barack Obama.
That makes way more sense.
Now, after the injured player, we get back to action. 3rd and 5 for the Hornets. 4:20 left on the game clock. In no hurry, as Carr is watching the umpire to see when they throw his hands up in the air and to give him the signal that there's 10 seconds remaining on the play clock. He does that, and now Carr will set the formation, take the snap, hand the ball off, and that'll be Walper. Like 23 on the carry there.
Yeah, I think you're right. And Walper has looked really good. And every back that they've thrown out there has had that nice first step. They protect the ball well, and they hit that hole. Yep,
put their foot in the ground.
Yep, really nice.
4th and 1 now for the Hornets. 3:30 remaining on the game clock. And after this first down, this may be time you could almost start taking knees.
Yeah, I don't think we'll. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the coach. I don't think we'll see that anytime soon. But you're not wrong.
And that will be a first down for the Hornets at the 46-yard line. And Walper again on the carry.
And the Hornets continue to move those chains forward, and also moving the chains forward. Everybody that's part of this Game of the Week crew. Out on camera, we've got Mike Koski, Katsumi Nagai, and Mo El Masri. Inside the truck, Jackson Gorlin on audio and replay, and of course, Rob Pinball Wizard Cross directing, as always. Just a quality crew out there to work with, as usual. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you, Kevin Bryant.
Well, thank you, Nick, and you must have seen Rob's basement if you're going to bring out the pinball. That guy has, I think he actually went out to a couple antique shows and just pulled up the U-Haul and just loaded it up. Big tackle on the play on that run by number 52.
Seemed like he got him from behind, but I guess they're calling that kosher, and they're just going to keep moving this one forward.
Crossley came up high. You're right on the tackle. But again, at this point of the game, we can take a look and see if that is a horse collar. Man, very close, right? But it looks like he around the shoulder area, but vicious.
Yeah,
violent
initially the way that his head snapped back that way, you're right on. And 1:45 left to go here.
And Carr will start just taking knees, and that will do it for the offensive action for the Hornets. And it probably, we'll take a peek and see, but after 4 or 5 touchdown passes, I'm assuming that Nick will go down and bestow the Key Player Game Award to a Carr. Maybe Tommy? Probably CJ. 1 minute left on the clock. Saline in my most favorite position of football, the victory formation.
Once again,
They'll take a knee on
Saline
third
takes a
down.
kneel down.
One more down remaining, and we're under 1 minute left on the clock. It's been a fabulous homecoming scene for the Pioneers. You see all the students still in the stands. I don't know if the dance is tonight, but they look like they're primed to go out and have some fun after witnessing this game. And this should be the final snap. A lot of things for Coach Griggs' staff to build upon as the Saline folks start to head back down south,
Once again, a
out
kneel
to the
down,
country.
clock running.
Maybe some tractor
The teams are
pulls
lining up
going
for
on
the
later on
handshake.
this weekend that they'll be attending.
Just a formality.
As the two teams line up at midfield and go and do the customary shaking of hands, we're going to take ourselves a quick break and come back with Nick out on the field with our key player of the game.
Thank you for coming and supporting your team.
Down on the field after post game here, CJ Carr, tell me first of all what's going through your mind here after this game.
Yeah, really, I'm just thinking about the great win that Saline just put up. Great to get our twos in at the end there, get everyone some reps, and we spread the ball around pretty well tonight, so it was great.
Now you had a ton of time in that pocket. Tell me about your guys up front helping you out.
I can't talk about them enough. I don't think I got touched today, honestly. They've been playing excellent, and at the start of the year we didn't know how good that group is going to be, and each week they just take steps and steps to continue to improve each week.
And lastly, on the sideline, what did you see from your defense helping you guys out and giving you a little extra time out there?
I mean, the scoreboard really, says it all. Shutout is that's all you can ask for. That's a group that's just continuously building on wins after wins, and so it's great to see them, step up and put a shutout out here.
Total team effort. Thanks a lot, Kevin. Back to you.
Well, thank you, Nick, from the field, CJ Carr. Man, we definitely have had some very special key player of the award winners this year. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw them playing on an NFL field a couple years down the road. Well, it's been a lopsided contest tonight for the Pioneers. They, again, will come away with the loss, a learning lesson for the Pioneers as they are on the wrong side of this game, the 12th in a row for the Saline Hornets over the Pioneers. So for Nick Wisniewski, I'm Kevin Bryant. Until we see you again here on the CTN Sports Game of the Week, take care, folks.